Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today in this tutorial I am going to show you how we can implement Material UI in React.js, and this tutorial will be introduction to the Material UI. So in this tutorial I will discuss how you can add Material UI to your React.js project, then how we can use different components of Material UI to build our own custom UI, and through this process I will show you how to create this UI using Material UI in React. So this is how our UI looks like. Here we have a hamburger menu. If we click over here, then we have a side drawer open, and here we have some menus. Then here we have some content present, and after that here at this bottom we can see we have a button. If we click on this plus button, then we are prompted with this section, and if we check this in mobile view, then also we can see that it's working perfectly. So we have a responsive design and it's working on mobile device perfectly. So here is our side drawer. Then we have this pop-up. So all these things are working perfectly fine. So this UI we are going to create using Material UI in this tutorial. So if you are interested to this kind of tutorial, then hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for more tutorials like this, and don't forget to hit the notification bell icon so that you get notified whenever I post a new tutorial on this channel. So without wasting any more time, let's get started with the tutorial. Okay, so here is a base React app created with create React app, and here we can see that it's running. Now we don't need these imports and we don't need these things as well. Here I just return this text and we are seeing this. Now we go to Material UI. This is the official documentation of Material UI, and here we can see this get started button. We have to click this get started button, and here we have the installation guide. As I am using npm, I will copy this command and paste it in our terminal. But before that I have to close this compilation process. Now after that, here I am going to paste it, hit enter. So it has been installed. Now after that, for the icons we need to use this package. So copy it and similarly paste it over here. Now hit enter. Now after adding all this, we can start our app by using npm start. Okay, now after that we can start using it. Now here within this components menu, we can see that we have different layout, input, navigation, all of these options present. We have this container by which you can align your page content. Here we have different kind of container. As we can see here, container max with SM for small devices, and small, medium, large, extra large. There are different kind of breakpoint is present in Material UI, and it is similar to Bootstrap. In Bootstrap also we use column as col, SM, LG, XL, like this. So we have different kind of container and we can specify max width like this. Then we have this grid layout, and this grid is also similar to Bootstrap. We have 12 column in a row similar to Bootstrap. So here as you can see, this is a basic grid, xs equal to 12. So this item is expand to 12 column, so it's taking complete space of a row. Then we have this xs 6 plus 6 equal to 12. Both of these columns getting equal distribution of space in a row. And then we have this 3 plus 3 plus 3 equal to 12. So all this column value in a row must add up to 12 to fit into a row. So that's the grid concept. Then we have this XS, SM, all these different breakpoints. XS 12, SM 6. That means in extra small device, this column will contain all of the space in a row, but in a small device, it will contain half of the row. Like this, we can make our design responsive. Then after this grid, we have grid list. So here we have many modern looking design present. So you can check all of these. But for this tutorial, first we are going to start with AppBar. So AppBar is this type of header which is present in this website, and this is what we are going to implement. And here we can see the code snippet present. So like this we have many kinds of app bar layout present. So we can choose from all of these options which will fit our requirement. Now I am going to create a basic app bar in our app. For that, first I am going to create a new folder in our src directory called components, and within this component create a header component, and here let me create a functional component quickly. So this is our header component. We are returning this h1 within our app.js. Instead of this h1 I will call our header component, and we need to import it from components directory. Now save it. So it's working perfectly. Now within this header component we will create the app bar. For that, first here we need to import app bar from material UI. So from material UI code we have imported app bar, and for the position of this app bar I will provide static, and you can see we have different kind of position, and static is the basic one. Now within this app bar we will create toolbar, and it also needs to be imported from material UI. Now within this toolbar I will create a button. Within this button I will provide login text. Now save it. Here we can see that our app bar is present, and here we can see login button is present, but it's not that much clear, so we have to change the color of it. So here we have different kind of color present by our theme. So we have primary and secondary, then we have default and inherit. So if I provide inherit, then we can see that it's adapting to the environment. So as this is the dark one, it's getting the lighter color. Then before this button I want to provide icon button with the hamburger icon menu. So it will be icon button, and that is also needed to be imported from material UI code library, and Visual Studio Code is automatically importing this for me. If you are not using Visual Studio Code or the helper extension, then you have to manually import these. Now within this icon button I will provide an icon. While installing Material UI, I have installed Material UI icon package as well. Let's search for it. So here is the search result. If I click over here, then we are presented with the icons page. I have searched for menu icon. Now after clicking on over here, I can see the import. I can use this import. Now save it. Now let's see. We can see that icon is present, but it is also similar to this login button, but this button is looking like this login button as it was previously. So let me update few things over here. First one is the color. Now save it. Now it's looking good. Along with it I will provide few other things. Edge of it will be start, area label of it will be menu, then for on click of it I will provide an empty function as of now. Now after this icon button I want to provide a title, and for that I will use typography, and with typography we need to provide this variant, and for this variant we can provide all these things. So h1, h2, h3, all the heading tags are present. Let me add this h6, and here I can provide a text. And then we have an error, and the error is this one. We have to provide an empty function over here. So now it's working fine, but this section is getting messy. Now I want to push this button to the right hand side. For that we need to implement some custom styles to our Material UI component. So for that we need to create a const first, and here I will create this useStyle constant. Then we need to provide this make styles, and within this make styles we can provide the styles, and it will be JavaScript styles. So here I can create an object, and for this object maybe we can provide a background color. So in CSS we can provide background color like this with an hyphen, but here we cannot use a hyphen in JavaScript. So instead of that we have this camel case property. Instead of hyphen for separation we have to use the capital letter for the first letter of the next word like this. Then we can specify the color like this, and we can specify the class name over here, and to use the class name we have to use this useStyle constant. So here we are calling this useStyles constant in our classes constant. Now we can use it. Within classes we have this menu button, right? Now save it. So here we can see the background color of this button has been changed. So that's how we can provide this style in Material UI. We don't need style for menu button, we need style for the title. And we want to expand this title to all of the area so that this button automatically pushes to the right hand side. And for that I can use flex 1. And instead of the class name over here, I can use the class name for this typography, and this time this class will be title class. Now save this. Now after this we can see that it has been pushed to the right. Now I want to align these contents to the center of the screen. It will leave some space from the right and the left. So that means I want to provide a container over here. So I can wrap this toolbar with a container. Now within this container I will provide this toolbar. Now after saving it we can see that it has been aligned properly. Now after this app bar I want to display grid layout, but before doing that I will add card to our app. So I will add this kind of card. For that, first within components directory, let's create card component by the name of custom card. Now we can use this custom card in our app.js. After this header, let's import that custom card component, and we have to import it from our components directory. Now save it. After saving it, here we can see the custom card, but here first thing to notice that from this app bar to our custom card we don't have any space, so we have to provide some margin to it. For that, within this header.js, let's wrap this wrap bar with a div and provide a class name over here. I haven't created that class name yet, I will create it now. And there is a reason to use this div. We will use another component after this app bar. Right now we don't have that component, so if we want to apply that class name to our app bar then it will work, but as we will have another component, that's why I have provided another wrapper element to this app bar. And here I am providing classes as root. Now for this root I provide a margin, and that will be margin bottom, and for it I will provide 30 pixel. Now we can see that there is a space. Now I want to align this to center of this page like this, so I need to provide a container, and make sure you import it. Now after that we can see that it has been aligned to the center. Let's add the card component in our custom card. So instead of this div, I need to import this card from Material UI. Now within this card we need to provide card action area, and here first we need to provide card media. Now for this card media, first we need to provide an image, and I will provide this image. Then we need to provide a styling as well for this media, so we can create styles like this. So I'm copying it and paste it here. Now here I am using this img, and for the height of it I will use 150 pixel, and let me get that use styles, and we need to import this make styles from our Material UI. Now we can use it, and it will be classes img. Now after this card media we will have the card content. Now for this card content, first I want to provide a title, then a description. Here I will use the typography. Now for the variant of it I will use h5 and then a title, and then similarly provide a description, and for this variant I will provide body 2. Now here we can see an error, card content is not defined, so we need to import this card content as well. Now save it. Now we can see that it's working, but it has been expanded throughout the row. I don't want that, I want to provide a grid layout. So here within this app.js I will provide the grid layout. To provide that, first we need to import grid from Material UI. Then I need to provide container for making this a container grid. Now within this container grid we can provide grid items by providing item, and here we can specify different breakpoints. for MD, which is for medium devices. So for medium devices I will provide 4 points width of the row within 12 points. So we will have 3 columns in a row for medium devices. For small devices I will provide 6. Now within this grid I will provide our custom card. Now let's save it. Now it's working pretty good. So like this we can copy it few more times. Now save it. Now after saving it we can see that it has been copied multiple times, but here is a problem. We don't have any spacing in between these cards, so we can provide that from this spacing prop, and here we can provide different values. So I provide 3 point. Now we can see that we have proper spacing in between these cards, so now it's getting proper shape. If we check it in mobile devices, then we can see that it's not working properly. But for the medium and small devices, it's working good. So for this extra small devices, we need to provide this XS12. Now let's see. So now within mobile devices, it's working fine. So we have created responsive design perfectly. Right. So that's how our grid layout is working. Now after this grid, I will create a dialog box. So here we have this dialog box section. Now I want to open form dialog like this. So I can take the code from here. So let's copy it and now create a component within our component directory. And I have given this component this form dialog name. Now save it. And now after this grid I can use it over here, and we have to import it from our component directory. Now save it. After saving it, let's see. Here we can see this open form dialog button, and if we click over here, then we are prompted with this dialog box. Right. Now I want to edit few things. First I want to change the title, and I will add this content to this dialog box. After this I will provide title for this text field, and the type of it will be text. And after this text field I will create another text field, and that will be details. And I want to replace this subscribe to this add text. Now check it. Now after that we can see that the width of it has been changed. I don't want that. I want to provide a wider width over here. For that, for this dialog I will provide max width, and for this max width I will provide SM. Now save it. Now after that let's reload it once. Okay, here we need to provide full width as true. Now let's see. Now we can see that it has a wider width as we want. Now I want to change this text input field to a text area field which we have in HTML, so that we can have multi-line input. So for that, here let's provide multi-line, and for rows provide a row number. Now save it. Now we can see that it has been updated. Right. Now I don't want this to open by this button. Instead of this button I want to provide a floating action button at this right hand side. Now for that we need to go to this floating action button, and like this we need to add an action button. So I will add this action button. So instead of this button I will use fab, and we need to import it. It has been imported from Material UI core library. And then I will use this add icon. So for that I need to go to this material icon page and search for add. Now I can use this import and now use it over here. Now for this fab, let's provide a primary color. For the area label I have provided add. Then we need to provide on click, and for this on click we need to provide this handle click open function. Now save it. Now after that let's see. Here we can see that floating action button. Now I want to position it to this area, and let's see if it is working or not. So it's working. Let's move this to this area. So here let's create use styles. Now it will be make style, and for the fab position I will use fixed position, and then I will provide a value for the bottom and the right. and I will provide a proper sizing over here, but I will get that sizing from our theme. Now within this make style we will have the access to this theme. Now we can use this theme to get a spacing, and here we can specify a spacing value. So I have provided 2. After this bottom I will provide right, and here also I will provide a spacing of 2. Now apply this fab to our component. Now for that, here first we need to use this use style in classes, and after that within this div we can provide this fab. Now let's see. So here we can see that it's present, but it's going to the extreme right and bottom. Now I want to change it. So for that, first I want to provide this bottom 5. Let's see. Now it has been pushed little top. Now after this bottom spacing, let's provide a right spacing, and this time it is little bigger number. Now we can see that it has been pushed to the left. So that's how we can use theme in our styling, and within theme we have many different variables present which we can use in our styling like this, and we can customize the theme with our custom requirement. If you want to know more about the custom theming in Material UI, then let me know in the comment section below. I will create a dedicated tutorial of it. Now after this form dialog, we are almost completed with our layout. Now we are just missing a side drawer. After clicking on this hamburger menu, that drawer will be opened. Now for that we need to go to this drawer navigation, and here we can see we have different drawer. We have left, right, top and bottom. We are going to implement this left drawer, and here we can see that we have this drawer component, and within this drawer component we have these properties. We have this anchor, open, on close properties, and within this drawer we can provide list like this which present in the demo. So let's implement it in our project. So now within this header, after this app bar, let's provide that drawer, and we need to import this drawer from Material UI, and here let's provide a text. As of now, for this drawer let's provide the properties. For the anchor we have these 4, so we are going to use this left. For the open property I am going to use true. Now save it. Now after that, here we can see that side drawer is present. Now let's make it functional. To make it functional, first we need to introduce a state over here. So first I have this const state, then by using use state hook we can create the state, and by default I will provide the false value to it, and make sure you import this use state hook from React. Now after that, let's create a function called toggle drawer, and here we will accept the toggle value, and with this toggle value we will set the state. Now for this drawer on close, I can provide this toggle drawer function, and here I can provide false value, and change this open true to state value, and I will change this state through this icon button. So here for this toggle drawer I will provide true. Now save it. Okay, so here we have to grab these event codes to make it work properly, and we need to provide that event value here. Now after that we can see that it's running properly, and we can click on this button to make it appear, and if we click outside of it then it will be disappeared. Right, now we can design it. We can provide a list item instead of this hello text. So let's create that here. For on click of this list, we will make the side drawer disappear. So that's why I have provided this toggle drawer false. Now after that, let's provide on key down, and it will be false as well. Now within this div, we need to provide list. Now after that, we will provide list item, and this list item will be as button. And first I want to provide list item icon, and here I want to provide home icon, and this home I will use outlined. So let's import this and use it over here, and then for list item text I will use this text. Now let's use this list in here, and for this list I want to provide a class name, and I will provide the class name as list. Now let's create that class over here, and for it I will provide width 250 pixel. Now save it. Now let's see. So here we can see that it's working perfectly, right? So now we can copy it again, and this time it will be about. Then after this list I will use a divider, and after this divider I will provide list again, and this time it will be settings and login. Now after saving it, let's see. So it's working fine. Now I will just change the icons. Okay, so I have added these icons. So I have imported these icons and added it in our list. So that's how we have created this layout by using Material UI in our React.js app. So this is the tutorial, guys. I hope you have learned something new from this tutorial. If you do so, then hit the like button. Let me know by commenting down below. And if you have any kind of suggestion for me, then also let me know. And I will see you guys in my next tutorial. In the meantime, have a great day. Goodbye.